What's up, brothers? Welcome back to another video. So, this video has like been sitting right here on my chest for a minute. So I really wanted to make this video to just try to be helpful, honestly. I could absolutely take huge deep dives into all 5 of these, and there's more than 5 to be fair. I'm gonna do my best to basically like just scratch the surface, just because I feel I'm just very passionate about overall health and wellness and fitness. And if you guys want me to take a deeper dive or get more detailed into maybe a specific area, a specific topic, or talk about a topic that I don't touch today, I'm more than happy to do so. Basically, I'm gonna give you 5 reasons why you're not seeing results and like how to fix that, how to start seeing results. I would just like to know I am not a doctor in any way, shape, or form. I am not a doctor, okay? I am not a clinician. I do not have a PhD. I don't even have a Bachelor of Science, a Bachelor of Arts, not a Bachelor of Science, okay? I am a certified personal trainer, but beyond that, I am not a doctor, so just know that, okay? Okay. Okay, number 1, probably one of the biggest issues. Why are you not losing weight? Well, the only way, point blank period, the only way to lose weight is to be in a caloric deficit. Without getting too deep into it, the reason you're not seeing any weight loss, the reason why the scale isn't moving is because you're not in a caloric deficit, okay? You have to consume less than you burn. You have to burn more than you consume. There is no other way to spin that. So if anyone else tells you that there's another way to lose weight, they're wrong. So basically, ways to fix that, ways to kind of make sure that you're in a caloric deficit, portion your food out. Literally, like, best purchase I've ever made. I have used this thing for years, okay? Food scale, a food scale. I mean, if you want, I'll put this one in the description below, but like literally you can get a food scale for like $10. That one might have been like 15 or 20, I don't know. But like, get a food scale. Get a food scale. Especially you, America, get a food scale, because the portion sizes in America, in the US, are so bonkers. They're totally out of whack. Buy a food scale, portion your food size. Simple enough. I won't even tell you to change what you're eating, just change how much. Whatever you're eating, look at the nutrition facts and portion the sizes. I would use the food scale for weight versus using the metric system. So like, for example, go off of grams or milliliters instead of like cups and tablespoons and yada yada. The metric system is kind of crap, to be honest. So that's it. Just make sure you're eating portion sizes. Simple enough. Try to eat more nutrient-dense whole foods. So, like fruit, vegetables, unprocessed foods. Like, the longer the ingredient list, probably the worse it is for you, to be honest. You want as like again, like I said, like as whole and nutrient dense food as you can, because one, that is like what makes you feel fuller and more satiated. So it's gonna help you feel fuller longer. Therefore, you're probably gonna eat less because you're not as hungry anymore. It's very important to fuel your body instead of feed your body, which is something that I say a lot. Don't get me wrong, I like my junk food. I like to eat fun foods or whatever. Like, do not get me wrong, I am not perfect whatsoever. But you have to be mindful of it. You just have to kind of, you know, be careful of how often and how much of that stuff that you do eat. With like weighing and portioning out your food, I personally would suggest tracking it for a little bit. I personally use MyFitnessPal. I don't know if you can see that. And that is a wonderful tool to help you track your calories, count your calories. There are so many more apps out there that you can use. That's just the one that I use. Just to get an idea of how much you're eating. If you eat just like what you normally eat and like do it for like 2 weeks in a row, preferably 4 weeks, you'll have an idea of how much you're eating, and you're probably taking in way much more than you're putting out. And that's why you're not losing weight, because you're not in a caloric deficit. And then I would say, like, lastly, just another way to make sure you're in a caloric deficit is increase your activity level. And by activity level, I don't mean your exercise. I actually mean what would be called your NEAT. So it's gonna be things like taking a shower, cooking, walking your dog, or walking your kids to school, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator, or parking in the back of the parking lot. Little things like that, that is considered your activity level. So I would increase that. That stuff goes a long way. Like, one of my personal non-negotiables is 10,000 steps every single day. And just by that little stuff alone, increasing your activity level, I guarantee you, you're gonna start to see a difference as you become consistent with it. All right, number 2. If you're trying to gain weight and you're not gaining any weight, it's because you're not eating enough. So in order to gain weight, you have to be in a surplus. But we obviously want to gain healthy weight, all right? And there's different types of healthy weight. For muscle people who want to gain muscle, especially if you want it to be lean muscle, you gotta eat more protein. Protein. Like, protein. I can't say that enough. Protein is what feeds your muscles. That is what your muscles eat in order to grow. If you do not have protein in your body, literally what your body will do is cannibalize. Yes, your body will eat itself, and that's no bueno. That's the opposite of what we want when we're trying to gain muscle or just weight in general. If you want more energy, if you find yourself you don't feel energized throughout the day, outside of what you might be eating, you also may not be eating enough. Carbs are not the enemy. Carbs are not the enemy. Carbs supply your body energy, okay? In the form of glucose and yada, 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 science, okay? Your body needs carbs. You need that to burn in order to have energy. Can carbs make you sleepy? Yes. When you're not using carbs properly or eating the proper carbs, because there are different types of carbs, that's when you can find yourself getting tired. But you need carbs in order to have energy. So if you find yourself lower on energy throughout the day, first, check on what you're eating, and then 2, make sure you're eating a proper amount of whatever it is. So you may need to actually eat more carbs if you feel low on energy throughout the day. Caffeine is not always the answer. If you're not gaining muscle, but you are properly fueling your body and you're in a caloric surplus, stop doing cardio and up the weight training. So cardio is not the answer. It is not the answer. Does it help you lose fat, burn fat, yada? Yes. Is it helpful? Yes. This is the way that I look at it. Weight training, weightlifting, strength training, whatever you want to call it, that is your meal, okay? That is your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. Cardio is your snack, okay? We don't have snacks that are bigger than our meals, and we don't eat more snacks than we do meals. Here's one of the reasons. If you're lifting properly and heavily enough, your heart rate goes up. That is a form of cardio. Elevated heart rate is cardio. Obviously, yes, there's different types of zones of it, but an elevated heart rate is cardio. So as long as you are actually lifting and you're lifting hard and you're lifting heavy, you're getting your heart rate up, you're getting the cardio. So adding on that extra cardio, that is not what's gonna help you gain weight, okay? Again, that's more for the weight loss side. Reason number 3, poor recovery. I cannot honestly talk enough about how people neglect, skip, or just don't pay attention to recovery. Recovery is just as important as the actual exercising itself, okay? When you are lifting, you are literally breaking down your muscle. You're tearing it down. You are destroying it, if you will. You're destroying your muscle. You're breaking it down so that way it can build itself back up. But you have to have time. You need time in order to do so. A great rule of thumb is to give your body at least 48 hours to recover before hitting it again, okay? So back, for example, if you're gonna hit a back day, and let's say you hit that on a Monday, the earliest you probably would wanna come back and hit back again would not be until Thursday. You need at least Tuesday and Wednesday to rest. Sometimes your body's gonna need more. It truly is gonna depend on how hard and heavy you went, if you properly fueled your muscles, post-recovery, all those things. So sometimes you may even have to go 72 hours. It all just depends. You have to listen to your body. But recovery is so important. You have to let your muscles build themselves back up before you can break them down again, or else they will never fully build back up. And then you just kind of sit there in this stagnant area where you're at right now, not gaining any muscle. Sleep. You need to sleep. So this is another really, really big, crucial part of anything, of all exercise, of health, of wellness. You need sleep. Your body needs sleep. It's a form of recovery, okay? 7 to 9 is pretty average. I'm sure you've heard that a lot. Me personally, I usually hit 7 to 8. You gotta kind of feel that out for yourself. There's a lot of sciencey stuff that happens in your body when you're asleep. So you need enough time for all those processes to happen. So proper nutrition, okay? Nutrition and fitness go hand in hand, okay? Nutrition and exercising and working out, they go hand in hand. They're the same thing, basically. Just kidding, they're not the same thing, but they're a marriage, okay? It's a holy matrimony, okay? Exercise is the king, nutrition is the queen, and together you have a holy kingdom. Let me try to simplify this as much as I can. When you fuel your body instead of feeding your body is going to use what you put in it, which is a good thing. You don't want to give your body excess of things that it needs. Even if you're in a caloric surplus, even if you're trying to gain weight, you still don't want to give it an excess of what it needs. What I mean by that, so let's say a caloric surplus for you is 2,500 calories a day. Okay. If you go up to 2,800 a day, that's an excess. That's too much of a surplus. You are now in excess, okay? You don't want to do that, because at that point, you're going to add things to your body that your body does not need. Properly fueling your body, properly feeding your body, eating proper nutrition, all of that stuff is a form of recovery. Even on a rest day, you still need proper nutrition, okay? Because like your body is still working. There's still processes and all the chemicals and whatnot in your body that are working. Like you have to still do that. You have to continually fuel your body. Like that, just do it. I don't really know how to explain it anymore without like just repeating myself and getting like way too into the detail. Literally, proper nutrition. There's just like no other way to say it. You gotta feed your body properly. That is a part of the recovery. It's a part of everything, but it's also part of the recovery. All right, number 4. This one can definitely be in the video of its own. Poor supplementation. But before we really get into this one, I need you to understand they are to supplement, not substitute. Okay? That is a huge difference, and I really need you to grasp that. If you are getting enough protein in just whole foods, you don't need protein powder, you don't need protein bars, you don't need protein shakes, you don't need the supplements, okay? Just like if you're getting enough fiber in your diet, you don't need a fiber supplement. They are supplements, not substitutes, okay? Don't get me wrong, I put protein powder in a lot of things, but I will put them in things that are not normally higher in protein. For example, I have protein muffin recipes. Muffins don't have protein in them, but because I've added protein powder in them, they've now become high in protein, okay? I make protein French toast. Again, French toast does not really have much protein in it, so I add protein powder in them to make them higher protein. I am supplementing my intake of protein. I am not substituting it. I am not going to drink a greens supplement and then call it a day and not touch fruits or veggies for the rest of the day. No, that's not how that works. It is so much better for you to get the nutrients, macros, micros, minerals, all that stuff that your body needs through whole foods, through actual meals and foods, than it is through the supplements, through the pills, through the powders, whatever it is. Do not feel like you have to have supplements if you're getting the proper amount in your diet already. Too much of a good thing can be a bad thing, so just keep that in mind when you are taking supplements. I would say probably like almost all of the population should probably supplement with is electrolyte supplements for hydration. Okay, hydration is super, super important, but when I say hydration, I don't mean just water, like just plain water. No, I mean hydration in the form of electrolytes. So like sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, so on and so forth. There's a lot. So when you sweat, you are not just sweating out water, you are sweating out nutrients, like the ones I just mentioned. So your body needs them back. You need to replenish them, okay? So that is a supplement that I would recommend getting. So for example, I personally take liquid IV. I'm sure you guys, if you've seen this, like you know what it is. If this camera will like literally freaking focus on it. Come on, man. Anyway, whatever. You know what it is, okay. Liquid IV, great hydration, electrolyte, supplementation, or element T, whatever, another great one. But there's tons of supplement companies that sell hydration style electrolytes, whatever. You honestly just want to make sure that it has a good source of sodium, potassium, and magnesium, because those are the nutrients, like the most nutrients that your body loses whenever you sweat. I drink one of these every single day. Doesn't matter if it's rest day or not, I'm drinking this because I will at some point sweat. Like, no doubt about it, at some point, I'm going to sweat, and so therefore I will be deficient in this. Also, with magnesium, I take 1 scoop of this every single night. Literally, is that gonna focus? There it goes. every single night. Again, no questions asked. It's a very, very important micronutrient to your body, so you really need it. And it's also really good for sleeping. It's helpful in that area. So I take this every night before I go to sleep. You can take them in gummies, you can take them in pills, you can take them in powder. You can, like, there are so many different ways that you can take them. There are so many different companies, different brands, whatever, it doesn't really matter. You wanna look for like a more specific type of magnesium, which I'll write down here. Your muscle needs magnesium, your body needs magnesium, so just drink it. With proper supplementation, macros. And this is another long topic, but keeping it short, your macros, carbs, proteins, and fats, you need all three. Your body needs all three. Diets kind of tie into that, and I really don't want to touch into diets, but there are so many different diets that so many different people do, and I'm not going to knock them because different bodies adapt to different diets, different lifestyles, different choices, different nutrition. I don't want to encourage you to diet, but I'm also not going to discourage you to diet because they can be very helpful and they can be a way for you to properly supplement your body and to get whatever macros your body needs. But that's completely like a personal decision or up to your doctor depending. But like, so just keep that in mind. Like, macros are gonna depend on your diet, and then your diet's definitely gonna depend on you. Like I said, I'm not going to encourage or discourage either way, whatever floats your boat. But getting your macros is very important. That is proper supplementation. Your body needs a certain amount of protein in order to build or maintain a certain amount of muscle. Your body needs a certain amount of carbs in order to provide and burn a certain amount of energy, but also in order for a certain amount of processes to actually, and like chemical reactions to like happen in your body. Same thing with fats, okay? So your body uses them as they're needed, so you need to supply them properly. Again, the MyFitnessPal app that's how I track mine personally. There are so many different apps that you can use to track your macros. It's just the one that I use. There's different ways that you can figure out like how much you should be eating as far as caloric and macronutrient wise. But that is definitely a very, very helpful way, and an important way, I would say, to make sure you're getting proper nutrition in. If you're on a mission to gain muscle or to even just like lose body fat but maintain muscle, it's like a body recomp, I would definitely suggest tracking macros personally. But that's a whole nother topic. Okay, number 5. Fifth and final, this is the end, guys. This is the last one. But if there's one that you listen to, I really hope it's this one. Oh, if there's one point that you take away from today, I really hope that it's this one. Whether you are trying to lose fat or gain muscle or get faster or get stronger or develop more power, whatever it is, if it's not happening, you're probably exercising incorrectly, okay? And I see it all the time. I see it so much, and it like kills me because I want to help people, but I also like, you know, need to like know my place. I've already touched on this a little bit before. Less cardio, probably, okay? Depending on what your goal is, but most likely you gotta do less cardio. Now, let's talk about the proper weight training. We're gonna get cozy for a second. For starters, do not go into a gym and not know what you're going to do, okay? You need to know what body part or parts you're going to exercise that day, okay? Do not start doing these trendy cool looking exercises that you see on Instagram. Stop. Don't do it, okay? Stick to the basics. Stick to the foundation of weightlifting. You are making it so much harder on yourself, especially if you're a beginner and your form already isn't that great. Stick to the basics. Do your squats, your deadlifts, your bench presses, your shoulder presses. There are different ways to progress yourself other than making the weight heavier. And by that I mean like adding on more plates or picking up a heavier dumbbell. There are more ways to progress than making the weight heavier. There are more ways to make the weight heavier than actually physically making the weight heavier. There are pulses, there are pauses, there is tempo, there's a half rep, there's so many other things that you can do that makes the weight heavier and harder for you to lift that will actually help you build a muscle, and actually you'll build it quicker. Let's not forget form, okay? We cannot neglect form. That is massive. Your form is massive, okay? I'm not gonna take a deep dive into that. We're just going to assume, okay, that you already have proper form. With that, you need to repeat. I'm going to repeat myself. You need to repeat your exercises over and over and over and over. That is how you do it. You have to hit the same muscle, the same body part over and over and over again in different ways, in different forms of progression in order for your muscle to actually progress. So progressions outside of simply just adding more weight and then repeating your same exercises week after week after week. I don't want to say that your workouts should be boring, but there shouldn't really be that much variation. It just is what it is. You gotta be cool with delayed gratification here, okay? If you can't do delayed gratification, then you're in the wrong area, okay? You gotta go somewhere else. Nothing here is instant. And then the last one I'll touch on is you're probably not training till failure, okay? So that's super important. To be fair, the amount of sets and reps don't necessarily they matter. I'm not gonna say that they don't matter, but at the end of the day, if you're not training till failure, it's a little bit of a waste of your time. I'm not gonna lie. You need to make it hard on yourself. So usually a rule of thumb for me is if the last 2 to 3 reps are not a huge struggle, and if they don't hurt, and if they're not hard, and I'm not literally giving all that I got for those last 2 to 3 reps, that weight's too light. That weight is too light for you. That's how you know it's time to progress. That's how you know it's time to make the weight heavier. If you're not seeing results in your muscles and you're not feeling like you're getting stronger, you're probably not training till failure, and that is huge. That's a big deal. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That's kind of all I got to say. I really hope that this was helpful. Again, please let me know in the comments below if one of these topics you really want me to dive into. I'm happy to do so. Or if you just have any specific questions, I'm happy to answer them for you. Thank you for watching this video, especially if you made it all the way through. I really appreciate it. I really hope that you learned something. I really want to help other people, so help me help you. Please know that you are loved. Please know that I am cheering you on. And I hope that you start to see changes and results in your fitness journey, whatever that is for you. Have a wonderful day.